I've been trying to figure out how to do the roof on this. I want to make it removable so that I can reach down inside and switch it on and off without having to remove the shell. I've done these little details on the sides. I've used M1x4 screws to add details to the hinges. I might do the same with the screws here just to make those a little bit more sort of believable. I've been trying to figure out how to make the roof so that it sits on there nicely and doesn't look like a separate thing. Because I've used this Depron foam from Model Shop Pen Models. 6mm foam. Just zoom out. 6mm foam. I've glued that together with the correct adhesive into 3-layer thick. I've made that so that goes on there like that, and it locates with these pieces underneath. Fits on there just right. But this piece unfortunately doesn't fit right because the front, I kind of screwed it up. So I was going to make it so the plastic came up to this edge here, but the angle of the roof was dictated that it wasn't going to work that way. It just wasn't going to work because it wouldn't line up. So instead I've made another one, and I'm going to make it, I've built that up higher than that. Should have took a photo really. Built it up to sort of here, and I was going to sort of make a vertical sort of edge there, sort of transition, I don't know what you'd call it, where the material changed sort of on that plane. But I couldn't quite get it to look, it wasn't going to look right, I don't know why, just the angles weren't going to be right. So what I've done is I've sanded that right down flat so it's on the same plane as the rest of the roof line. It might require a bit more sanding, there's another mil or so to go just to get it perfectly level with this piece of the roof. I'll probably just finish that by hand so I can get a really nice flat edge on there. You can see there's a slight ripple in it. Then I'll make some more locating panels like that. That'll go nicely into there. On this piece. And then just mark it and then cut it on the bandsaw with the table set at an angle so that I can get this angle consistent and straight. And then the front I'll probably just carve with a sharp knife and then sand it by hand with a block to get a really nice smooth transition between that piece and the foam. And then what I'm probably going to do is, like you suggested on the forum, PVA sealer is probably what I'm going to use, watered down, just to soak into this to form sort of a harder surface that I can paint. This is incredibly soft, I mean it really is. Any kind of scratch or impression on it, just scratch marks it straight away. So I need to try and harden up the surface a little bit. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. glued on an extra piece on the top that will hopefully represent the sort of ribs that they put in the top of the roof just to strengthen it. Just see how that fits, if it fits. Bit annoying, there's a bit of separation there, but I think we'll probably be able to hide that ultimately. So I've just put a bit of primer on there. There's a bit of filler and a bit of primer, a bit more filler, a bit more primer. To be honest, I think in hindsight I should have probably not bothered with these reliefs because it's been very difficult to get that totally smooth in there. Well, at least, I mean, it's not like this is perfectly smooth, but it's pretty good. I think probably I could always make another one in the future. As you can see, it's just made of this foam. So that goes on there like that. So it's a nice fit, barely any gap, and like I say, the windscreen will come up to here underneath this piece, and then I think that piece will probably go on after the windscreen, and so that'll completely hide the top of the windscreen there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think I'm going to just leave it as it is. And if it gets knocked about, I can always make another one.